A new agentic model just came out from a Chinese lab. This is GLM-4.5 and it's a huge release. First of all, this lab actually released two models. One is a mixture of expert with 355 billion total parameters and 32 billion active parameters, while the other one is GLM-4.5 Air with 100 billion total parameters and 12 billion active parameters. Both are designed to unify reasoning, coding, and agentic capabilities. So this model is currently available on their website z.ai and it's open weights at Hugging Face, so it's open source. Its performance, it's very good. So you can see here that it lags behind only Grok 4 and O3 on 12 benchmarks that are state of the art. Also, the Air model is doing a very good job, being a little worse than O4 Mini High and a little better than Claude 4 Sonnet. On agentic tasks, this model is lagging behind only O3. On reasoning, it lags behind multiple models, but it's not that far away in benchmarks. Also, it's a quite good coding model, being only behind Claude 4 Sonnet and Claude 4 Opus. On agentic tasks, it performs very well compared to closed source competition and outperforms open source models like DeepSeek R1, Kimi K2. So this is a significant open source release. Also, they show us how they've done on the web browsing field, and they show how scaling test time compute allows them to improve their browser competition accuracy. And in general, this model is very good, comparable to other closed source models and outperforming in several benchmark closed source models, especially when it has to do with browser usage, which requires multimodal reasoning. And yeah, I think this is a very significant release. Again, this doesn't straight off beat commercial models, but if we see this graph that shows the performance on software bench verified and the model parameters, it's doing a tremendously good job compared to other open source models like Minimax M1, DeepSeek R1, Qwen 3 and Kimi K2, while having small number of parameters. We can see here that it's far away on the Pareto frontier compared to the competition. And in terms of being open source, it compares very well against other great coding models. So that's a very big deal in my opinion. China is really pushing the sought-up frontiers of open weights, and already in my opinion, it's performing very well against state-of-the-art models. Like, it's quite obvious that these models are catching up to the competition. So they have created a Flappy Bird game, which we can play right now. So really have no idea how to play this game. At least in this browser, it's not working. It's able to create slides. This is really agentic and it's also supposedly good for development. Right now, their infrastructure is not very good, to be completely honest with you. I have tried to chat with it, but it's going really slowly and in many cases doesn't really work. For some kind of reason. I don't know whether it's my requests or they have problems scaling their infrastructure, but I also tried on Hugging Face to use this model, but I was not able to. Like, the model stops thinking very fast, and this creates quite a lot of problems. So yeah, I would say here maybe continue. But yeah, it stops prematurely. Maybe that's the token window, that it's quite small. Also, I tried web dev with artifacts, etc. It didn't really work. This is like the preview it has created. Doesn't work that well right now. It seems like it has used some kind of Gemini Pro data. This looks a lot like Gemini Pro, but I think this is a very nice release. Hopefully the benchmarks will be verified by other people. Current API pricing is also very competitive. $0.6 per million tokens of input and only 2.2 for output, while the Air model, which is smaller, is even cheaper, nearly half the price. So I think this is a very big release. I'm not still able to verify these kind of applications, and I use their official chat, which is a little disappointing in all honesty. I don't really know what's the issue and why these are not working. Live, right now I'm just going to create a Flappy Bird game. I I really hope this is just software engineering problems and the model is going to perform well, but it feels a little bit not capable. I really feel like something is sketchy. However, this thing was actually created by them. So, it's really strange to me why it's not working for me. So, this is the prompt, build an interactive Pokemon Pokédex webpage. So, I really like this prompt. Maybe I will save it for the future. Why not? And this is what it has created. You see it live here, but I really don't know if this is like a paid version or whatever. So yeah, this seems quite nice. Let's try their, let's see their slideshow prompt, what they asked the model to do, which is create a PowerPoint presentation. I'm going to save this prompt as well. These are very nice looking prompts and they created this presentation. And you can see here the tasks, browser usage. And I really want to test out this Flappy Bird game in all honesty. I don't know why I cannot play it. It's making me really, really angry. And it asks such a very simple prompt, which I don't know why it's not working for me at the moment. So it asks the model to create a simple Flappy Bird game in a single HTML page. So for me, it's not working. I cannot play this game. I really cannot. Like I'm trying to play again and it's crashing, which is very strange to me why they released this game. Okay, so you have to press space very fast, but I cannot really play this game. I'm always losing. It's hard to win. Okay, this is a hard game. So this is a very hard game, but actually you can play it. So I really want to see if it was able to create the game that I asked it to create in pure JavaScript. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm really trying to copy this, but it doesn't allow me to. Yeah, they have to find better software engineers in all honesty, but let's try at least this prompt. The previous prompt, I've tried two prompts, one with a web development toolkit. It was not able to spin anything up. Also, this website is really not good looking. It's so empty. So let's go ahead and try this game. So yep, it's working. The Flappy Bird game works. Doesn't look very good. I would say it looks very bad. I really like the movement. The movement is smooth. Let's go down, we don't die. Let's go up, we don't die. And when you hit the obstacle, you actually die. So I think they've got quite a lot of issues with their current, LLM. Hopefully, they will be able to improve it. I'm just going to give it a simple prompt. It seems like the models that I'm working on lately are not able to use my very complex prompts. So that disappoints me in general. But in terms of benchmark, this model is really great, in all honesty. I think it's just the infrastructure load and maybe having put a very small quantized model out there. But hopefully the benchmarks will be verified by third parties and actually this model will be actually as good as they say it is. First results, so it's good, but there are some shades of not being completely transparent, at least with the model they have put out right now on their website. Let me know if you tried out, what you believe about it. Did you find it being actually good? I have significant problems with it when I try to use it on this chat and also on Hugging Face, where they have multiple spaces. I actually tried the GLM-4.5 demo. It was not able to do a good job for me. So I'm just going to give it a second try. Like you can see it over here. I think it lacks a little bit of context window, which is a little bit strange for me because I think this has actually a big context window. So it has a 128 context length. So yeah, not very huge context length. And they do some engineering to, sum up the previous responses and continue. So that's a little interesting. I guess these models will be performing better if they increase the context length and context window. But yeah, let's give it a try. We will jump the result. So if you see over here, in various cases, it's outperforming other models on various benchmarks. So yeah, that's what they say. The open source race is really catching up to the competition. So I find this super interesting. I think, writing HTML and the website that I ask it to create, it really puts it out of the context window. Also, the chat seems to be quite slow, like the inference is very, very slow. I get it. It makes sense. They probably don't have a huge infrastructure or the latest GPUs. So I really want to be very fair to them because Chinese companies really don't have the infrastructure that closed source USA companies have, but they already are catching up. So this is the response that we've got, and this is a quite unique website. I've never seen a website look like that from a model, and in all honesty, the result is pretty interesting. You can click the share button to share the website with someone else. So let's try it out. Let's see if we can open it up. So this is the website. I really love how they have created this animation. I've never seen another model create something like that. It's very clean. In terms of a website, these things are not really working. Maybe they work on this version. Nope. Okay, let's see. They also have put it this code that is copyable. So let me click copy and let's see if it actually works. No, it's not working. I really love this. This looks very clean. If I click this, does it point to the correct website? Yes, that's interesting. Okay, so guys, I think we have a winner. This is probably the best model response I have got in the latest models. And this is an open source model, so this is a very big positive. I think this is a very good model. Making it open source and very cheap, I think is super significant. I think the price is also going to go down very soon on Open Router as more and more companies, output and provide infrastructure for this model. Right now, it's only the official infrastructure with only 68 tokens per second and 48 tokens per second for the big model. But I believe that very soon, more and more providers will come over for this model. So the token output is very small. Okay, so it makes sense that in some cases it fails to output what I ask it to do. So this is my opinion about this model. I think it's a significant leap. We got Qwen 3, we got DeepSeek R1, we got Kimi K2, and now we get this. And these are all state-of-the-art models, pushing the frontiers in various benchmarks forward, and already surpassing the current offerings from Google, OpenAI, and Claude. Tell me your opinion about these things down below in the comments, and I will see you in the next video.